Good evening, everyone. My name is Landa Jeray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful wife,
I'm Rotunda
and
Morgan,
you're tuned in to Living
living
More
more
with
with
the
the
Morgans.
Morgans.
And we want to thank you guys again for tuning in tonight,
Yes.
8 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night. You could have went anywhere else. You could have been watching anything else, but you tuned in right now on Living More with the Morgan. So we definitely appreciate you. And we're
Thank
going to do a roll call. We're going to do a roll call like we do every week just to make
Every
sure that everything
week.
is sounding good, everything is looking
Yes.
good, that it's coming across in excellence, that you guys can hear us. So if you're online, definitely hit up the comments. Let us know that you can hear us. Let us know
Yes,
that you can see
please.
us, that we looking fresh and we looking fly. Can we hit that pose real quick? Yeah, you see that. So yeah, we just want to make sure that we're looking fly, looking fresh, and that you guys can see us on all of our social media channels. And right now, you're probably tuning in on a number of channels right now across the internet. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/ Living More Morgans. We are on Facebook, you guys. I'm also on my Facebook page, my personal page, which is Landa Jeray Morgan. And then we're also live on my wife's page,
Yes.
Rotunda Morgan. So you can
Yes.
hit us up on all three channels, and we're going to be kind of dropping in on each of those channels just to make sure that you guys are tuning in. And if you are tuning in on Facebook, go ahead and share the broadcast. You know what I'm saying?
Please.
Go ahead and share it, comment. This is
Yes.
interaction, right? We want to
Yes.
be engaged. We want to be
Yeah.
interactive. And so you guys go ahead and share the broadcast. This is good, clean content, no vulgarity, none of that nonsense. We're not doing that, right?
No, we don't
And
do
so
that.
you guys can share this on your page. And then you're also watching us on Periscope Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter.com/Live More Morgans. You can find us on Periscope and Twitter. And if you are on Twitter, go ahead and follow us on Twitter right now on Twitter at Live More Morgans. And then you can also hit us up on Instagram. We're not live on Instagram yet, but we will get there. And you can follow us, keep up with all of our content, keep up with what's going on with the Morgans, with us. We're going to be discussing travel, marriage. I mean, everything is everything.
Everything.
Nothing's off
Everything.
limits on Living More with the Morgans, you guys. And so
Yes.
you can hit us up on Instagram, follow us there, Living More Morgans. Again, that's Instagram.com/Living More Morgans. And you're also watching us on our official YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/Living More Morgans. Brand new channel. We want you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit us up, hit that bell icon so you can get notifications from us when we come on live. And so we're going to be kind of switching through our channels here just to make sure that you guys are on, and again, that you can hear us. And if you can hear us and everything is coming across clean, be sure to leave comments. We want to hear from you. We want to answer questions. If you guys have any comments, again,
Yes.
nothing is off limits, you guys, whether you agree or disagree, whether you have some input, whatever.
Yes.
We want you guys to chime in because that's what it's about. We want to create that dialogue, this positive discourse that we need to have among one another. And so tonight we're gonna really jump in it. And I'm go
And
ahead.
before we jump in,
Okay.
I saw a young lady that's on tonight that I just think the world of. I met her probably 1 hour. She did my labs.
Okay.
Her name is Mackenzie. Mackenzie Ann Smith. Mackenzie, thank you for coming on.
That's what's
Thank
up.
you so much. Just love you, and you know that, and I told you that. So many great things God's going to do for you. So I just want to say
Absolutely.
thank you for coming on, okay? That's what I want to
Absolutely.
say.
Well,
Yes.
Mackenzie, thank you so much for tuning
Yes.
in. If you're online, definitely share. We want to, again,
Please,
always
please
invite you on
share.
Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, you guys.
Yes.
You can always tune in. And then you can go to our YouTube channel and watch the rebroadcast of all of our past episodes. So we got a good 3 months of past episodes that you
Yes.
definitely want to check out, and definitely get you kind of up to speed on what we're about, what the show is about, and what we're going to be doing going forward, you guys. And so,
Sounds
again, if you
great.
tuned in on all of our social media platforms,
Yes.
thank you so much. I'm going to kind of chime
Thank
in
you.
just to make sure that we, that we got you guys okay. So on Living More with the Morgans page, we got Tamika Long is in the building. What's
Hey,
going on, fam?
sis.
Thank you so much for tuning
Thank
in. Where my
you.
man at? I know if he's helping with homework, I understand. I definitely understand.
Yes.
Greetings to you guys. We also have Evangelist Sarah Fears. Absolutely.
You
I ain't seen
said
it.
you would be on.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so
Yes.
much for tuning in. I ain't seen
Thank
that
you.
name in a good
In
minute,
a
so it's
minute.
good to have you on and see you. And I
Yes,
believe,
thank you so much.
let's see, Rianne is on. I don't see any comment from her, but I
traveling
think
girl.
Rianne probably
Man.
somewhere in far
Cucamonga.
Cucamonga, far Indonesia somewhere, somewhere off the map that don't nobody know exists.
We love it.
But we
and
love it.
Just just
Absolutely.
wow.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Rihanna and her husband Moni.
Shout out to
and the
Moni and the
kiddos. Thank you guys
kids.
so much for tuning in. They are
Yes.
on our Living More with the Morgans page right now.
Thank you.
And so I'm going to kind of toggle over just to make sure I don't miss anybody who happens to be on
Yes.
right now.
And
on
please share, everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. So take time to share. My man
Yes.
Brent Butler, I ain't seen my man in a minute. He says, I'm proud of you all. Thank you so much,
Thank
bro,
you so
for
much.
tuning in.
Thank
Definitely,
you.
if you got time, man, definitely share it on your wall. If you
Thank
enjoy
you,
the
sir.
content, let people know what we're doing. Let people know what's
Yes.
going on here at Living More with the Morgans. And now
Yes.
you guys, I'm going to toggle on over to our YouTube channel just to make sure that I don't miss nobody. I don't want to miss nobody. If you tuned in on YouTube, we got a couple of people on YouTube, but I don't see any comments, so that's cool.
Okay,
And so
sounds
you guys,
good.
you're probably wondering why the mystique, why all the purple, why all the sexiness with the purple.
Well, first of all, it's our favorite.
That's our favorite color, right?
That's
right.
one of the reasons.
Exactly. But tonight's show is called Assemble Your Crew.
Yes.
And you're probably wondering, man, I've heard that phrase before. What does that assemble your crew mean? Well, that assemble your crew was taken from one of the funniest skits in the world by one of my favorite musicians to ever live, and that's my man Prince. And so if you haven't noticed, we rocking our Prince symbol shirts, and that's why it's all purple around here.
Yes.
Because it definitely had to pay homage to the baddest brother that ever stepped on the stage.
Absolutely.
Everywhere, anywhere to touch a stage and touch an instrument.
Absolutely.
Prince Roger Nelson, but shout out to him, rest in peace. But we named the show Assemble Your Crew because that was a line in a skit that Charlie Murphy, who is the late brother of comedian Eddie Murphy, and Charlie was a comedian in his own right. It was hilarious.
He was hilarious.
But he was doing a skit on the Dave Chappelle show, the Chappelle Show,
Oh, yeah.
several years ago. Yeah. And it was, the skit is hilarious. You can find it on YouTube. But what it was Charlie Murphy back in the 80s. This was like around like probably 84, 85 when Purple Rain came out. Prince's album, global hit, huge mega album, Purple Rain came out. And they were doing shows and tours and everything. And I think after a show or whatever, they were all backstage and kicking it, yada, yada, yada. And I don't know the whole story, so please don't quote me on it. If you know it better than I do, if you can find it on YouTube. But Charlie Murphy tells about a story where, he's with his boys, and his boys are kind of rough, and they kind of thugging it up or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Roughnecks,
Yeah, they kind of roughnecks, and they
Right.
at the party or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And in comes Prince and his band and his crew. Now, if you know anything about Prince in the 80s, I mean, Prince is the only cat in the world that can rock some heels and some boots and some ruffles.
Right.
And will steal your woman straight up. Like your wife is going home with Prince that night. Right. That's how pretty the man was. He was just that's Prince, right? Yeah. And so he comes in with his crew, and all these dudes are like in ruffles and boots and heels and stuff. I mean, they're eccentric, they're artistic. I mean, this just how these cats were back in the day. Long hair,
that was my
you
time.
name it. And that was that time back then. I mean, and these dudes wasn't
good.
funny, none of that. These dudes was men. They was dudes, loved the women, they loved the ladies, and the ladies loved them. And so they walk into this club or whatever, and they got all the ruffles and stuff on, and Charlie Murphy and his crew, they see him. Right. And I guess they kind of challenge him to a game of basketball. I think it's Prince. He challenges these guys to a game of basketball. And Charlie Murphy is looking at these cats like, y'all ball, man? Like, I mean, again, they in boots and ruffles and stuff. And so he's like, he just busts out laughing like, no. So he was like, I tell you what, assemble your crew. That was the line that Prince had said to Charlie Murphy and his boys, assemble your crew. Which means get your team together, get your boys together. Y'all gonna play against us, and we gonna do this. And so the funniest part about that is Charlie Murphy and his team, they go get dressed. They throw on like jerseys, shorts, or whatever, basketball hooping gear.
Yeah.
Prince and his boys, they still come out in heels and boots. I mean, they like they finna do a concert and all their regalia and everything. And they come out, and Charlie Murphy and his boys just bust out laughing. To make a long story short, they they come out and they play ball against Charlie Murphy and his team,
Right.
and they're like, every time Prince get the ball, he's shooting the shot, and he's switching them, like
And they
switch,
go in.
and they going in, and
Oh, okay.
Prince is killing them on the court, and these dudes are looking like, and Prince is like 5'2", y'all, in his boots, in his heels, and he is killing them, just shooting J's, just jaying up on them, and that was the most. I don't know if Prince and his team won or whatever, but they earned their respect.
Right.
To after the game, I think they went out and got some pancakes or something like that. So the story is so funny and hilarious. But I wanted to call this show "Assemble Your Crew" for that line, because what it was is that Prince was telling Charlie Murphy and giving him a challenge: go get who you need to get on your team.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Get your boys, and we're going to go up against my boys, and we're going to rumble. We're going to do this thing on the basketball court. And the thing about Charlie and his team, who are more rough and tumble, roughneck, around the way kind of cats, thug cats, the thing about his team is they underestimated. They underestimated Prince's team.
Okay.
And so when Prince comes out, they don't know what to expect. They think, oh, this is going to be an easy defeat, just simply because of how these guys
Was
look.
dressed.
How
Yeah.
they were dressed,
Right.
how they looked. They underestimated their skill and their talent or whatever.
Right.
And then Prince comes out and he puts up a show playing basketball.
Wow.
And so I wanted to challenge the people tonight that are watching. I wanted to challenge you with this. As we go into the new year and we make all these resolutions, every year it's, I'm going to do this different. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to change friends. I mean, you got people now, and they'll do it on social media and Facebook. I'm deleting folks off my Facebook page. And
Yeah.
if you ain't right for me, I'm deleting, blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're announcing the deletion before they delete.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't know who does that. But
Right.
if I'm going to delete somebody, I'm not announcing that I'm deleting
Right.
folk. You would look up and you just won't see nothing I've posted.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But I wanted to share this topic because, again, we go through these emotions and we go through these different formulas every year towards the end of the year, as if the new year is going to be something totally different, and it's new year, new me. We have all these slogans and catchphrases. But what happens is we don't change our mindset.
Right.
We don't change our mentality about the things that we're involved in.
Right.
And the number one thing I think that's what's holding us back, along with mentality, is our associations.
Absolutely.
And that's why I want to challenge you guys tonight that are watching. It's time for you to assemble your crew. And I say that because year after year, you may be going into a new year with a new you and a new outlook and a new mentality, and you want to lose weight and da-da-da. But if you got the same old people, the same folk around you who aren't thinking big, who aren't thinking bigger and better, who aren't expanding their mindset, if they're still stuck in the old mentality and old ways of doing things, and you keeping that around you, well, then guess what? You're probably not going to go too far, and you're probably going to be disappointed probably around April or May of next year,
Yeah.
because things aren't progressing the way you thought they should. And it's not and it may not necessarily be wrong with you. There may not necessarily be anything wrong with you. It may just be that your associations, your friends, the people that you have around you are not conducive for this growth and for this progress
Right.
that you're wanting to experience. What's your thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree. We are so into, and I'm just going to be honest. We're so into slogans. We're so into, what's the new trend or what's the new thing for this coming year, okay? Or regurgitating the same thing. In order for us to grow in our purpose, grow in what God has for us to do, we have to grow in every area. We cannot just grow with, we can't just say it. Okay, I'm going, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. We have to put action behind it. And if we are at the point in our lives where we're saying, I keep saying the same thing over and over, there's no changes, nothing has happened that is different. I want more. There's more for me. I feel there's more. You have to surround yourself with people that want more, people that have the mentality of it has to be done, to push themselves. They push themselves. And you get around those people that push themselves, it automatically makes you take an assessment of who you are. Right? And to say, wait a minute, what is it that I need to be doing that will help me to grow, will help me to elevate, will help me or aid me in seeing the blessings and the things that I'm supposed to be seeing. And a lot of times we don't understand that we can have people in our lives for all our lives. We grew up with them, I'm not saying everyone, and I'm saying, but there's people that are stagnant. There's people that, are there that will hold you back because, again, they're not ready for growth. They're not looking for growth. They want to still, sit on the stoop or sit on the porch and talk about what happened back then and the same things over and over. But in their lives, you see no growth.
You see no growth. That's good. And I think sometimes we're afraid to lose.
That's true.
Those associations.
It's true.
We're afraid to lose. And that's the thing. People have to understand growth and progress is scary.
It is.
It's scary because old things will pass away.
Old things will pass away.
You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely right.
And so if I'm sitting here grasping at my future, but I'm holding on to the weight of the past of what I've been through or what I've gone through, even with people, then I don't have both hands on my future.
That's right. That's right. That's good.
You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And my future is too big to only go after it with one hand.
Yes.
It's too fulfilling. And so that's the problem, is that we're still holding on to old friendships, old high school buddies, old running partners that you've outgrown.
Yes.
Or that you need to outgrow.
Yes. Yes.
Why? Because their behavior, it's like, that old adage, birds of a feather flock together.
It's true.
And even in the court of law, you can be what? Guilty by what? Association.
Even if you're not, doing anything.
Even if you're not doing it.
Right.
We just saw here in the news a couple of weeks ago about the Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones.
Yes.
Back when he was 14, 15 years old, and he was in a picture at his high school in Arkansas when he was a kid. And at that time, there was, things with segregation and different things going on. They weren't allowing, black students into the school, blah, blah, blah. And just because he was there in the picture, just because of the times that they were in, and how sensitive the situation was, people automatically, I'm not saying whether it's wrong or right, or whether it justifies it or not. That's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm saying because the fact that he was simply there among other people. Now you see an expression on his face where it does look like he's kind of looking at, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it does look like
me.
that. Because the boys in front of him, they have a more stern, aggressive face going after the black students that are walking in. If you really look at the picture, Jerry doesn't look like he's aggressive and, I don't want you here, but the boys around him in front of him do.
Yeah.
And so he's guilty in people's eyes, and a lot of people's eyes in the media, especially how they perpetuated the story, is that he's guilty by association because he was there.
He was there.
And so even in that situation, which is very loaded, if you take a good assessment around your friends, if you take a good assessment of your close associates, your family members, even relatives and so forth, if you take a good look at who they are, where they are in life, and if you place yourself there in the same situation they're in, will people look at you the way they see the people around you. You dig what I'm saying?
That's good.
If you're hanging around a bunch of, and no disrespect, I'm just, keeping it real.
Right.
If you're hanging around a bunch of crackheads,
Right.
even though you're not a crackhead,
Right.
you dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If people will associate you with people who smoke crack.
But you will have some of the mentality. You will have some of that, something that will rub off on you. Though.
Exactly.
Because you might not smoke, but you might look unkept.
Right.
You might look
Right.
like you might look and appear as if you don't care.
Especially if you're not strong enough.
Strong. Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
If you're not strong enough to override what everyone else is doing around you,
Right.
then like you said, that behavior tends to start seeping in and rubbing off on you if you're not careful.
If you're not careful.
And so again, you start becoming who are the people who are around you, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like I've heard, even before I got married, I would hear people say that, to women especially, if you're married, you don't hang around single women once you get married,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And so there's a reason for that, because single women still have a mentality of singleness.
Right.
They still have a mindset of, yo, I'm single, whether they are still looking, to date, or if they in the clubs or doing whatever, they're going to have a different mindset and different mentality than from a woman who's married, or should be.
Right.
Have a different, mentality than a woman who's married, right? And
Right.
who's supposed to go home to her husband and kids or whatever.
Right.
And so we have to be careful that when we make these New Year's resolutions and when we go on these fasts and when we say, oh, I'm going to do this in 03, it's about me, and in 03, in 04, it's going to be more. When we start doing all that, we need to take inventory of who's in our corner. Who are the people that are around us? Whose mentality could be seeping into ours? Whose bad habits could be rubbing off on us?
Right.
Because if we're not careful, we'll have these big plans and we have these big goals and we want to do this, but it's so hard and so difficult for us to cut away the fat. You got lean meat in there, but you want to keep all this fat that's unhealthy for you. And if you're not willing to cut away the fat, then you're missing out on the nutrients that you could get
Right.
from relationships that are helping you progress.
Right. It's like a tree, an apple tree. It won't grow unless you prune it. Okay?
Yes.
It will not grow. If you want growth, if you truly want growth, and you do have people that are around you, associates that are around you that are not growing, and you've been around them, and even if you were the one that was trying to help them, to grow, and they still staying in that place of being stagnant and not moving forward and not doing the things that they tell you about. Hey, I want to own a business, or I want to be an actress, or I want to be this and I want to be that. But you see no evidence of them moving in that.
Right.
And you have big dreams and things that are inside of you, that is burning inside of you, that you want to get out and you want to do. You have to be around the people that will help cultivate that.
And you know what?
And help bring that out of you and bring out the best of you.
Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to say.
You know who that is.
And we know who
We
the people
know
are.
who we can share our dreams with.
Right. And we know who the people
And we know who we can't.
Right.
We
Right.
know the dream crushers.
Right.
We know them folks that got them old ghetto mentalities, or just
Right.
old, low poverty mentality.
Or just a mentality of, it's enough right here. I
Right.
go home,
I'm
I go to work,
comfortable.
I'm comfortable. I go to work, I might go out to eat, I might, go to the mall, but I'm coming back home.
Yeah.
Those people that have that routine.
Right.
And every week it's that routine. And then it's just like when we see people talk about on Monday, oh, it's Monday again, y'all, If you would start to look and take an inventory of your life, and look at it, what is it that you want to do?
Right.
And start working towards that.
Exactly.
Then you will start seeing the growth in that. But it becomes, I mean, it is not easy, you know, to let go of people that has been there all your life. But then you start seeing, sometimes you can start seeing them pull back, not support, not say, hey, you guys doing a good job, or you guys, I'm proud of you guys. You have that, you know, you start seeing that.
Right.
And that sometimes you can, when you see that is starting to tell you that, you know, things are being pulled apart.
Right.
Sometimes not necessarily that we're doing it, okay? Because a lot of times God, if he has a purpose and it puts you on this earth to fulfill that purpose, just like David. When David was selected king and all his brothers were so jealous of him, okay, he had a purpose to fulfill. They saw the purpose. They saw something.
Right.
And so when they saw that, they began to talk about him. Hey, what you doing here? You here to bring us these cheese sandwiches? Where the little
Right.
sheep and stuff that you've been hanging out with?
Exactly.
Hey, we the big boys. This is what we do. We fight, you know. And he looking like, fight who? Goliath still messing with you guys. You guys
Right.
ain't done nothing.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So we do know
Yeah.
the people that, and that doesn't mean that you cut them off.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
No, you put people in their, what's the word I want to use?
You compartmentalize. people.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah. You put people in their space. In their
Yes.
proper place. And so, and
Yes.
I'm glad you said that, because, again, our mentality nowadays is, oh, I'm deleting folk. You might delete the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, oh, I don't need them. Da, da, da. No, you don't have to delete people. And I mean, you know, in this social media
Unless
world.
they something that's destructive.
Now, if they're just destructive
Yeah.
and they're always negative, then absolutely
Yes.
you need to get rid of that, you know,
Yeah.
completely in your
Right.
life.
Right.
But when people aren't necessarily that you've grown up with, that aren't on board with what it is that you're doing, or aren't going where you're going,
Right.
you don't have to abruptly cut them off,
No.
right? Because they may not fit for the chapter that you're in now. And so you might be in chapter 10, but you may need that person, or that person may need you
Right.
come chapter 19.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So we don't need to be mean and ornery and just abruptly cut off folk, you know, oh, I can't hang out with you, I can't talk to you no more. No. But you are going to have to start learning how to discipline yourself and distance yourself to where you know those associations that you can't share dreams with.
Right.
You know those people that you can't tell them about this great idea that you have, or you know what, you want to leave your job and you want to start a business. You know them folks that's
Yeah.
going to laugh at you. You know the ones in your family that's not going to support you, or you'll find out the ones in your family that's not going
Right.
to support you,
Right.
right? But you don't cut them off. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? You put them in a place where, okay, you don't support me. You're not helping me get to that next level that I foresee for my own life.
Right.
I still love you.
Right.
You dig? I still
Yes.
love you. We still cool. We still fam. But I've got to go after this.
I have to go.
I've got to go after this purpose.
Right.
I don't have time. I've wasted time, especially for those of us who have wasted time.
Yes. Yes.
Those of us that are in 30s, 40s, 50s up,
Yes.
you know when you've wasted time with people that you've tried to bring up, that you've tried to bring along to open their minds, to broaden their minds, to bigger, to better, to even want better. But you can lead that horse to water, but you can't make that joker drink
You
one
cannot.
sip.
You cannot. You can keep telling people, hey, I know where the bread is. It's hot.
Right.
It's over here. You can do it all day long. And the thing that, honey, that we talked about is that we do too much of that. And what I'm saying, and hear me out when I say this, we concern ourselves so much with trying to bring along these people. And to the point that we don't understand that our heels are dragging and we're not getting anywhere. And that's stopping our growth. Again, I think I said this before, and you know this is a thing that really God laid on my heart, and he allowed me to keep seeing it and talking to me in my spirit about it. I will never forget when MC Hammer, MC Hammer had to file for bankruptcy. I'll never forget that. He went through his money. You know why? Because he was so busy trying to bring family, trying to bring neighborhood, the friends he grew up with, the people in the neighborhood, trying to help employ them. And all they were doing was give me, give me, give me. This is happening, I need money for this. This is happening, I need money for that. And you look up, and he said he wished he had never done that. He wished he had prayed and asked God, who are the people that should go and who are the people that should stay? Because what we do is we're so wanting to bring them along because we love them. We want them to fulfill their destinies too. But this thing is an individual thing, because at this point in time, well, not even that, God didn't say, hey, you didn't do what I told you to do. Well, you go get everybody else that was dragging you down and holding you back.
Right.
Okay, you go get them, and I'm gonna hold them responsible too. No, we all have to carry our own cross.
Right. And
right?
and the thing about thing about your cross and your purpose, it's that it's tailor made and tailor fit to fit you.
Right.
Your purpose and destiny is not tailor-made to fit you and 5 other people, or your crew from back in high school, or your homies from college, or your sorority sisters. It's not. Your purpose is tailor-made for you.
Right.
I think oftentimes, honey, and you made some great points. I think what happens is we drag people along because we want the next level of success that we desire.
Yes.
We want it to feel comfortable with people
yes,
that we know, that we're
with.
familiar with.
Yes.
Right? Because when you're in a new place and new surroundings, it's like you take somebody like an expat who may move over abroad to take a job somewhere. Maybe I'm moving to Dubai or Singapore or something, and I don't know anybody there, right? It's an uncomfortable feeling to be in a brand new place where people speak a different language, different culture, everything is different, right? You're there on purpose. You're there in, fulfilling destiny, but you're in a new place, unfamiliar territory with unfamiliar people, right? And so you have to get situated in your new in your new habitat.
Yeah, you have to get familiar.
You have to get familiar with it. What we tend to do culturally is we want to bring, like MC Hammer did. I don't want to be a sellout.
Yes.
I don't want people to think I ain't down no more. I ain't with my boys in the hood no more.
Yeah.
I ain't got my clique and my crew. So what do? I got a little success. I got money. I'm going to bring my boys with me. Now, what Hammer didn't understand is that, okay, your mentality is changing because it's a part of your purpose and your destiny. So God is changing your mentality to look at the world differently, to look at money differently. Right? And he has to.
And look at yourself.
And look at yourself differently. Yeah, he works on us first.
Right.
Right? The problem with that is what Hammer did, and that's a great example. What Hammer did is he didn't assess the mentality and the mindset of his partners that he was bringing with him, that he wanted to bring with him.
Right.
So he's bringing the hood with him, and the hood ain't ready to go.
That's right.
You trying to bring your sorrow sisters with you from 30 years back in college, but they not there where God is placing you, where you're going. And so again, you're trying to fit you're trying to fit 5 people in a one-person suit. And God's saying, you're gonna bust this suit because it's not tailor-made to fit 5 people.
Right.
It's tailor-made to fit you. Now, I'm using that analogy figuratively, so that I'm painting a picture that you understand that when you're going forward, when you're going upward, you're going to have to take inventory of people who are going upward and forward with you, and who want you to go. You dig what I'm saying? Because often you'll have some people around you that are low key not wanting you to even go there. They're not wanting you to leave the hood. because they know their mentality is, well, if you leave, then I ain't got a snowball's chance in hell to make it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? I don't have the opportunity to advance myself, or so I think.
So you.
Right?
Right.
And
right.
so if you leave, if you get out the hood, if you move to a better neighborhood, if you move and live out of the country, if you take this job, if you start this business and you make $1 more than I do, then am I willing to upgrade my life to stay up there with yours? Right. A lot of people aren't. And you've got to make that assessment. I think about Jay-Z. Jay-Z, the rapper, came straight out of, Marcy Projects.
Brooklyn, yes.
And Jay-Z was thugging, selling drugs, rapping, doing his thing. He had his partners with him. He had his crew with him. He had, all that comes with that. Street life, all of that. Today, Jay-Z is with Beyonce Knowles, who is now Beyonce Carter, with 3 kids, and he's a billionaire. Jay-Z can't have the same associations and same friends and same mentality that he did just 20 years ago, 25 years ago, coming out of Marcy Projects. He can't have it. Beyonce can't have the same mentality and same friend associations with folks that she grew up with in Houston, Texas, just 20, 25 years ago. Why? Because when purpose is calling you, it's made for you. And when you get to the level of purpose, then a different group of people, different associations, different friends come for that level.
Yes.
I think about Jay-Z. Well, now he's rubbing elbows with other billionaires.
Yes.
Rubbing elbows with the owner of the NFL, the commissioner, excuse me, NFL owners of different teams. Warren Buffett, he's rubbing elbows with these cats. Right. And you got dudes from the hood saying, oh, that nigga, he a sellout. Oh, man, he this and he this. And he can't be the same person he was 20 years ago, 25 years ago in the projects, y'all.
No.
And because what do you want him to do? Do you want him to stay in the projects because you still there? Do you want him to stay in the hood where your family has been and my family was the generation before I got here? Do you want us to stay in Lodabar? No, the goal is to go upward. I think about people, I'm from Oak Cliff, from Dallas, Oak Cliff, Texas. And I heard it when I left Oak Cliff 20 some odd years ago. When I left high school, I wanted to get as far away from Oak Cliff as possible because there weren't opportunities there at that time. Now, I love Oak Cliff. I love where I'm from. But economically, I knew I couldn't stay there because my mind wanted more than what Oak Cliff could give me. Even my upbringing was different from a lot of people that I knew in Oak Cliff. My vernacular, my vocabulary was different. How I talked, how I carried myself, how I dressed, all that was different. So I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. So I knew that for me, destiny, I couldn't go after purpose and destiny if I stayed there for the sake of, oh man, I got to stay in the hood. I got to stay with my boy. I got to stay with my crew in Oak Cliff. No, God was pulling me and calling me to more. And I wonder how many of you guys have been called to more.
Right.
How many of y'all have been called to do greater, to go further, not just for the next year, for 2023, but for right now?
Right.
How many of you have been saying, man, I want to finish my book. Right. Man, I want to go back to school.
Absolutely.
I want to start a business.
Yes.
I think I can do that too. I think I can have bigger and better. Right. I think I'm more deserving than where I'm at and what I'm doing right now.
Right.
How many of you guys are subjecting yourselves because of the associations of the people that you continue to keep around you?
Right.
Nobody's forcing them people to stay around you.
No.
You're keeping them around you.
Because it's comfortable.
Because it's comfortable.
It's comfortable. And like you said earlier, change can be difficult and it can be scary. Okay? When you begin to start to walk in your purpose. Because one thing about it, when God puts something down inside of you, it won't die. It just won't. You have to get it out. You have to get to the point where I have to fulfill this thing.
You will be miserable.
You will be miserable.
You will be absolutely tormented.
Right.
If you do not fulfill this thing that's in you, this longing in you, and what that is purpose.
Right. And babe, sometimes I think not all people, but a lot of people is depressed because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Depression comes because of that, because we are trying to do what everybody else thinks we should do, or stay within the confines of what everybody else is doing in your circle.
Right.
When everyone in that circle are individuals, and God gave everyone something. You're creative.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm into I'm into athletics, I'm into sports, I'm into health and fitness and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The goals and the dreams and things that I remember telling you that I wanted to be in the AVPs.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a professional volleyball player. I didn't, the opportunity could have came. Maybe there are some things that I did, okay, and some associations and things I done, okay, that kept me in this spot. But I vowed and I said, not another young lady. Okay, I helped coach in the off season with my friend Lydia. We were coaching young girls, getting them ready for high school, getting them ready so they'll understand the game. And I said, God, it's in me. Right. I said, I want to own gyms. I want to own them so that I can and rear these young girls up that love volleyball, that want to understand the game and prepare them for middle school, high school, and college, and beyond, into the AVPs.
Right.
It burns inside of me. Does everybody around me have the same dreams and go? No, they don't. So I have to get around people that not only have dreams and goals and aspirations, and that thing is burning inside of them that says, hey, I'm gonna push myself because I want this, but I'm also want you around to help push you. We push each other. Iron sharpens iron, just like we do for one another.
You will rarely, absolutely, you're gonna rarely see a race car at a car show.
That is absolute. Say that again.
You're going to very rarely, if never, see a race car
at a car show.
Now, let me explain that. A race car is built to do what? To race around the track.
Right.
To win the race, to win a prize of running the track, running laps with that driver. When you go to a car show, the cars are not moving. The cars are usually parked, but they're decked out, they're clean, they're polished or whatever. They have the look.
Right.
They're both cars. They're both used for transportation to take one person from A to B. But that race car is not in the same competition or same lane as the car over here for show.
Right.
With its good looks.
Right.
Because you could see a race car and it'd be beat up, dented up, whatever, but that's the fastest thing on the track and it's winning.
Right.
Right?
Right.
We have to be running with people of similar mindsets. Because if I'm a race car and I'm supposed to be on the track running laps, but you over here posted up, parked, looking good.
Right.
We're not in the same lane. How can two walk together unless they agree?
Right.
So we're not even in agreement on where we're going, what are we progressing to?
Right.
And so when I say assemble your crew, I'm not just talking about friends and family and associates,
no.
constituents and colleagues.
Right.
Your spouse.
Right.
Your spouse. But let's jump back on that. Let's take a couple of minutes, you guys. And we're going to go into how when you assemble your crew, if you're married, you want to make sure that you pick the right partner for destiny and for purpose.
Yes.
But we're going to jump off real quick. We're going to stay online. Don't go nowhere. Because you know what we got to do?
You gotta pay them bills.
We got to pay them bills. Them bills, you guys.
Them
So don't
bills.
go anywhere right now. If you're on our YouTube channel, we love you guys on YouTube. We love you guys on Twitter. Don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a commercial break. Stay right there. Stay tuned. We're going to be right there with you. All right? Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Landis Jeray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
I'm Rotunda Morgan.
Yes, you are. And we want to invite you to our new podcast, Living More with the Morgans. You can tune in on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time on all of our social media platforms, on Facebook, Twitter, and on our official YouTube channel at Living More with the Morgans. You can also follow us and like us on Instagram at Living More with the Morgans. We'll see you there.
Be there.
It doesn't matter what they call you. What matters is what you answer to. Landis Jeray.
Where can I find a professional logo designer? Wow, nice. Infusion Design Solutions. Visit us online at infusion.com.
All right, you guys, and we're back to Living More with the Morgans on tonight's episode, Assemble Your Crew. And before we go, we got to jump in. We talked about friends, we talked about associates, but we got to talk about those who are married, who have spouses, or those who are single and dating, courting somebody right now, and you're looking to get married. You're assembling your crew, and you might have just a crew of one
Right,
for a long time.
right.
And you want to make sure that, again, if you're a race car, you don't team up with a show car,
Right.
someone who's dormant
That's
but
not
looks
balanced. Right, right,
good, right? She fine, but she don't do nothing,
right. He handsome, but he lazy.
right? And so you gotta get with someone who has drive, who has purpose, who
Yes.
have goals,
Yes.
that has aspirations, and that you see them. It's not just lofty ideas and, oh, I want to do this and this. No, someone that you're seeing.
Implementation.
Exactly. Making the steps, making the necessary steps to make these things happen.
That's good.
I remember when I met you, I was on it. I was grinding,
Yeah.
right? Because I wanted something. I was moving. I was building. I wanted something, not just for myself, but I didn't want to come empty into the relationship with you.
Right.
Because I knew if I'm saying I do to you, if I'm asking you to be a part of my life, then I don't want you to get into my life and there's nothing there to be a part of.
Right, right.
You
right.
dig what I'm saying?
When you're asking someone to be a part of your life, you're asking them to be a part of everything.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
visions, goals, dreams, all of that. Or if you don't have that, laziness, complacency,
Right.
you know, all of those other things. So you're right. We have to assemble our crew again. It can be like your husband or you're dating someone. Those are topics that you need to, you know, talk about as you're dating.
Absolutely.
You need to talk about what are your dreams, what are your goals, you know, and see some, you know, somewhat of a, you know, something that they're doing that's going towards those goals and those dreams. And I remember even when we were dating, you know, you were, you know, doing all these things, you know, and the dreams and stuff that God has given you. You know, you're a musician, you're a producer, and all of that. And you know, when we first started the clothing line, we were dating.
Right.
You know, I was so you know, ready to do it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great, because we both had goals and dreams, and then I believed in what you were doing. You believed in what I was doing. Right. You know, so you have to get someone in your life, and you and your husband. I mean, if you guys are at odds with, oh, okay, you're not supporting one another, you're not, you know, you guys are not on the same page. Now, I'm not saying the same dreams and same goals, but you guys are not, you know, flowing together.
Right. You have to be going in the same direction.
Same direction, the same vein.
Right.
Right.
You had to be. Yeah. You had to be on the same page.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. It's as if I'm an actor, and we're doing a table read.
Right.
Right. If I'm on page 15 reading the script,
right,
and you over here in page 45 reading the script, we're not on the same page. We're in two different scenes.
Page.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in two different scenes.
Two different scenes.
Right.
Right.
And so when you're dating someone, when you're married to someone, you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Both of you guys are driven. Both of you guys are driven by purpose, and that you're operating on one accord. And when you're assembling your team, this is your life partner you're talking about.
Yes.
You dig? And so, me personally, I wanted to make sure that if I'm picking a life partner, I got some big dreams. You dig? I got some things that God has called me to that is big, and that, you know, is going to require a lot out of me and a lot out of us. And I knew that. I knew that going into marriage. I'm like, babe, I'm complex. I'm, you know, I know I'm gifted,
yes,
but there is a requirement of me,
right,
with these gifts.
We actually, and we talked about this.
Oh yeah.
We talked about this before, the complexity of him, and he's a creative, okay? I'm not necessarily a creative. So the mind, how he thinks, you know, and process things. So you, again, you know, you have to talk about all these things so that you guys things can flow. Right. You know, and again, like you said, you know, it's something that I'm reminded of, just to go back to this piece about, you know, destiny and fulfilling destiny. Tyler Perry couldn't fulfill destiny still hanging out in New Orleans with his old crew. Oprah Winfrey couldn't fulfill destiny still hanging out in Mississippi around those people and around the people around her, okay? All these great people that we look up to, and we say, oh, okay, they're doing great things. You guys, they had to do some pruning, not only with the people around them, but in their mindset. And you couldn't go into a meeting, a boardroom meeting, and you know, there's a deal on the table for you, okay? Or you gonna go in there with the same mindset? You from Mississippi, and you talk, hey, y'all, what y'all doing in here? You know, what we gonna do here? You know, talking like that, or having that mentality like that? No, you can't. You have to go in that room as a totally different person. Right. You cannot go in that room and think that those people are going to say, yes, this is somebody I want to work with. You know, with that mindset that you had growing up. There has to be a pruning. There has to be a change in yourself. Right. And that's what I wanted to just say once again. All of us, we have beat a dead horse, okay? Every year we keep saying these same things over and over. Even I'm a personal trainer. I see it every year. January come, people in the gym so thick, you can't even get over there to get in the weight area. People are over there, I mean, you got 20 or 30 people, they doing this and lifting weights, all of that. By the time March or April get here, they're done. Right. What would happen, babe? What would happen if we put our whole self into something? Right. In our marriage, in our families, in our business, in our relationships, in our goals. What would happen if we would stop talking, stop saying what we're going to do, and actually do it?
And execute it. Yes.
Execute. Work towards it.
Right.
And stop making excuses. And another thing, stop saying those things to yourself that you're speaking in the atmosphere and it's coming back to you.
Right.
I can't. I don't have the resources.
Right.
I don't have this. I'm too old. You know, I can't do this. I'm older now. This is not going to happen. You guys, I can tell you, there's people in the Bible that were doing things. How old was Joshua?
Joshua was probably in his 40s.
Okay, Joshua's in his 40s, doing the things that God had him to do. Okay, Moses. Okay, these people were older. Let's get out of the Bible. Let's go to Quincy Jones.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Quincy Jones got his first, what was it? His grant? Was it the grant?
No, it wasn't the first one.
Okay.
Quincy didn't really hit the pinnacle of his career
Right.
until he was in his 50s.
Until he was in his 50s.
His biggest album to date is the world's biggest album of all time,
Which
Michael
is?
Jackson's Thriller. That's the best-selling album of all time, and nothing has come close.
Right.
And this man produced that in his 50s.
And this is the point I wanted to make good, because I'm in my 50s. When God has purposed and promised you something,
Yes.
hear me. It has to happen.
Right.
When he has already put it in you and already said, I brought you here for this purpose, to do this, it has to be fulfilled. Stop looking at your age, your stage of life. Stop looking at all of that. Stop getting around people, like we said, getting around people that will tell you you're too old. You can't do this. You too old to even to have a baby.
And stop waiting for the opportune time to do something.
There's no opportune
There is
time.
there is no
We
opportune
tested
time.
that.
Yeah, we tried that and failed miserably.
Right.
There is no opportune time. And
There's
so
none.
when you think, oh, I'm going to get started on January 1st when the clock hits midnight, you're fooling yourself.
You're behind.
Oh, I'm going to start first quarter 2023. You're already behind.
You're already behind.
And so you need to be preparing now, so that you don't find yourself next year drudging and walking around the same mountain year after year, and you're burnt out,
tired.
and you're burnt out and praying to God and
tired.
crying come April, May, June.
Yeah.
Lord, what's going on? This ain't happening. No.
Right.
We gotta make the changes and start shifting now. And you can start doing that now, again, by taking that assessment of the people that are in your life.
Right.
Like for instance, my wife and I, we don't drink and smoke, right?
We're not drinking.
I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't like smoking because I like my lips being pink, and she does too.
Right.
Right?
It got to be.
Already. So I don't want to damage what she loves about me, or part of me that she loves about me, and I just don't want to damage my internal organs with drinking alcohol. But that's just me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not condemning those who do. That's just something that I don't like to do. Right? The point I'm making is I'm not going to start hanging around people who smoke and drink. Right?
Right.
Because I could probably get in that area and not be as strong as I think I am.
Right.
I believe I'm strong to handle that and withstand that.
Right.
But if I'm hitting the club up every day, every week, or whatever, and I'm around folks that smoking and drinking, I don't know how temptation can jump on me.
Right.
To where I start reverting backwards. And again, my hand is on my past, and I don't have both hands on my future.
Ooh,
and my past is heavier.
Good. That's
Even
good.
though my future is bigger and brighter, my past is heavier.
That's
the people
good.
in my past are heavier. Why? Because I don't know who's in my future. I don't know who God is going to send. I don't know the new colleagues. I don't know the new, soulmate and people. Like you made a great example about Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey, and people clown them. People, why? I gotta say this.
You can clown, but
I gotta say this.
there's a
Why do we, as black folks in our culture, why do we condemn other black people who got money, who have success?
I'll wait. You guys put something in the
Yeah,
comments.
I mean, hit me in the comments or something, because I need to know why do we do that? And I know all cultures do that, but why are we not happy? Why are we not jovial when one of us who has worked hard reaches the pinnacle of their career or they reach that level of success? Why do we not celebrate them? And here's the thing I also see. And when we do celebrate, we celebrate celebrities that we don't know, but we silent with folk that we do know.
Right.
I can see people, and I'm going to share this today. A friend of mine and my wife had just recently, about a week ago, opened his brand new photography studio, Kawan Burton Studios. And what messed me up when he put out, I believe it was his wife, his wife London, who's amazing creative. Amazing. She put out on their Instagram page for their business the different videos and pictures of the new studio. The pictures had me floored. The pictures blew me away. I went to the website, brand new website that they launched with the opening of the photography studio. It was so superb and clean, just the pictures and the website. I called him. She picked up the phone. She said, "Hey, Landis, he's in a meeting right now. He'll call you back." I said, "Cool, no problem, no rush." I texted him because I knew he was in a meeting and he'd get it later. I said, "Kawan, I just want to, first of all, congratulate you and let you know how amazing this new studio is, da-da-da-da-da." He calls me back later on that day, and he says, "Thank you, man. Thank you for the compliment, man. I appreciate the encouragement, blah, blah, blah." He said, why don't you and your wife come out for a tour?" I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man, your wife come out for a tour, da-da-da-da." I said, "Cool." Gave him a date, time. This morning, we got up to sirens because we had the appointment set for today this morning. We wake up to sirens of tornado warnings here in Dallas.
Right.
About 30 minutes before we're supposed to go and check this out. I said, no. Ain't nothing stopping this appointment today.
Right.
So I text him. I said, "Kawan, are we still good for today?" He said, "Yeah, man, we're good, but I know right now, they got tornadoes and stuff on the ground." I said, "No, that'll clear up. By the time we get there, that'll be gone." I had that much faith to know that it would be gone by then. We go and see the studio today. It was superb. It was immaculate.
That's a word that we can only come up with.
Yeah. It was so pristine, so excellent, so opulent, so well done. And the reason why that spoke to me is because I know the hard work that it takes to put a product of excellence out there.
Right.
I know that's painstakingly hard.
Yes.
I know how difficult it is, and I know the underappreciation that you'll get from people. That's why I wanted him to verbally, and I even posted on Facebook and on Instagram. I wanted him to know, I'm giving you your flowers now, bro.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Him and his wife.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard excellence is, and I know how little it's appreciated from people who don't value it. Mm-hmm. Why am I even saying this? Because you want to surround yourself. Me and my wife have been talking about this. You want to surround yourself in this year and in the next year and the years to come with people who are moving at the speed that you're moving at.
Right.
Where you ain't got to pump them up and you ain't got to prime them up, and they don't need to hear another sermon, and they don't need to hear another prophecy, and they don't need another church service, and they don't need the bishop and the prophet to come say something to them. No. They get their marching orders, they get their instructions, and they execute.
Right.
That's how you want to assemble your crew, is people who get their orders, people who get their purpose, people who get their destiny. They get it in mind, they grab a hold of it, and they say, let's go, let's get to work.
And just to go back to Kawan's studio, again, while we were talking, and we were in the, in the area where you shoot, literally tears was rolling down my face. The scriptures that they have
Oh, God.
on the wall, and one in particular that got me, which we love and everyone knows, your gift
We'll make room.
will make room for you.
Yeah.
And goodness, when I say they're believers, okay? This is what I want to get to. They're believers. And they believed in executing this that God gave them with excellence.
Excellence.
At the level of excellence that they know. When I tell you, this is on the level of I would say, Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. Easily. Tom Ford,
Tom
Ralph
Ford,
Lauren, Louis
Ralph
Vuitton.
Lauren, Louis
It's
Vuitton.
It's that level and probably beyond it.
And beyond
And
it.
beyond it.
And you know why? Why? Because Kawan assembled his crew, which is London.
London, yes.
His wife.
His wife. Mm-hmm.
He's the photographer, she's the visionary. They brung that thing together and they moved from one location to the next location. This man has shot people that you guys would know.
Oh.
You
Celebrities. And here's the thing. Oh God, there's so much I could say. What I loved about Kawan, if he ever sees this, or if anybody wants to even tag him in this,
Yes.
or London, what I loved is their humility, the hospitality, the hospitality and the humility that they showed us when we were in the studio. I mean, y'all, this is grand. You don't see this in Dallas. You don't see this in Texas. You probably see something like this in LA or New York or something. You don't see this, what they have put their hands to. And the reason why I appreciated it so much is because, and for me, and my wife is tearing up. If I appreciated it so much because I've been screaming on the inside, God, put us around people who will spare no expense at the vision you've given them.
That God has given them. Right.
So I want my crew, whether it's a crew of one or whomever God sends in our corner, that they will spare no expense for the vision that they say God has given them. I got to keep it real because we can't on this platform. If you are cheap with God's vision, you have already forfeited it.
Yes.
Why? It's even in Scripture,
right,
where the priest would go to God's altar to worship, and they would bring one-legged rams,
yes,
one-eyed goats,
yes,
all these animals with blemishes. And
yes,
God got pissed and said, what are you bringing to me? What are you worshiping? What are you offering to me?
Yes.
These animals with deficiencies and infirmity. Why
yes,
are you bringing me these offerings,
yes,
that are a stench in my nostrils?
Right.
And I told God, I said, I don't want to, especially my businesses, especially my livelihood,
right,
something with my name on it.
Right.
Our clothing line, Landa Geray, that's my name. That's right, my birth name, Landa Geray Morgan. I said, God, if you give me this vision, I want it operated in utmost excellence, at every stage, every level. I've got some clients on here that are on the Facebook pages right now, and they can tell you, this is not me bragging. This is me saying we've worked hard, tirelessly, spend hours up late at night.
Sometimes not
even going to sleep, y'all. Sometimes not even going to sleep, so that you can get a great product when you open that box,
right,
or when you unfold that shirt.
Right.
You don't know the time that it's taken. So that's why I commend Kawan and London. That's why I give people their flowers now.
Yes.
That's why I celebrate people. Why? Because I'm saying to God, I want to be in the flow with people. I'm not saying that we don't have people around you. If you're watching, I'm not saying it's not you.
No, 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 no.
Hear me well.
Please.
I'm not saying you're not one of them.
Please listen.
Please hear me. Because the
Yes,
devil,
please.
I know the enemy. He'll take that
Yes.
and say, well, he ain't mentioned me, and I guess I ain't one of the ones. I'm not saying that.
No.
What I'm saying is, if you are a show car and you want to be dormant and look good and look the part and look like you got some money, fine. But we want to get with people and assemble our crew with people who understand that this takes time, this takes hard work, and who are willing to put in the sacrifice, the time, and the resources and the money that it's going to take to bring about an excellent product, an excellent vision. That's what assembling your crew is about. You need to have that mentality now. Right. Don't wait until December 31st at 11:59 to say, oh, everything's going to change, and the prophet gave me a word, and the Holy Ghost done moved, and we done danced and shouted, and now I'm ready to move into my destiny, and I'm going to start this 50-day fast, and everything is going to be glorious. No. No, black folks. No. Stop. You've done that. We've done that. Mm-hmm. Has it worked? Just, we can be real on this platform.
No,
has it worked, fam?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. You know why it hasn't? Because
Jesus.
Faith without work is dead. We are so big. We've been taught, a lot of us been taught so wrong, that we are to sit back. We got the word, the prophecy has come, and we're going to sit and wait on it to happen. That's not how God does this. We look at God as if he's a sugar daddy. He's not. Mm-hmm. He says, I've given you everything you need to fulfill your destiny on this earth. He said, I created you in my image. Mm-hmm. Come on now. Right. If he created you, the God of the universe, El Shaddai, if he created you in his image, why would he half create you? Right. Why would he not give you everything you need? Right. We have to stop and say to ourselves, are we walking in this and we talking it? Are we walking in it? Are we believing it? Or are we sitting back waiting and sitting around people that are waiting with us? Until you get out of that, you're going to have the same thing every year. We had to realize that in our own businesses, right. Our marriage, yes. Our relationships, yep. That it was not getting better because it was us. Yep. We're going to stop putting it on something else and someone else. Right. It is us. That means everything has to shift. Everything has to change. That when it does, God doesn't start so necessarily with the people around you. Mm-hmm. Again, he's going to start with you. But you're going to have to allow him to. This is where our faith come in and our trust. Let me just say this. Our trust comes in. Mm-hmm. When God begins to prune these people from around you, and he's saying, I said to move. I said to go do this. I put this in you. And you're still sitting and you're still waiting on me to do what? You want another word. You want somebody. See, that's revelation. That's confirmed.
No, confirmation.
Confirmation.
Yeah,
that's
confirmation.
It. Another confirmation. You guys, that's not scripture.
We need to grow up.
We need to grow. Every day we need a confirmation to tell you that, hey, you are a principal of your own school. You are the owner of a school. Yes. You're the principal of a school. You're the biggest lawyer in the state of Texas. God says you're going to be, and you're like, who, me? Until we begin to say to ourselves and believe it and know it and walk in it. Yes. Listen, to fulfill goals and dreams, you don't take everything in a chunk. When you have a plate full of food, you got potato salad, you got greens, you got corn, you got meat, you got cornbread, you got roll, you got, a dessert. Mm-hmm. You don't eat all that at one time. Mm-hmm. You take a little bit off at a time, right? When you make goals and dreams and you begin to do this, when you start walking in this, you begin to make them. And you begin to write them down. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain so that men can run with it. He's not talking about he needs to run with it. He's saying make it plain to yourself so you can see it every day.
Let me share this, because you hit on some very key things. Purpose is lonely. And if you're not willing to go through a season of loneliness where it's just you, then I would dare to say you're not ready to go to another level. When God called David, the prophet Samuel had a huge reputation as being the prophet that where his word never fell to the ground, meaning that if Samuel said it, it was a wrap. It was as good as done.
Right.
That's the reputation that Samuel had. But what happened with Samuel, when God told him, "Go, I'm going to send you to the home of Jesse to go anoint the next king of Israel."
Right.
The prophet Samuel, the man of God, goes and steps into this room. And he sees all these big, buff, I'm sure, strapping young cats. And the one thing that Samuel said was, "Surely the Lord's anointed stands among here." And I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
And he got corrected on the spot by God.
Right.
Because God said, "Samuel, you're looking at the wrong thing.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
You're looking at the outer appearance of these men.
Right.
You're looking at the fact that, oh, these brothers is tall and they strapped up and blah, blah, whatever, and they muscled up and whatever, yada, yada, yada. You're looking at the wrong thing." What I love that Samuel did, that a lot of prophets don't do when they don't get it right, is he repented in himself and went back and said, "Okay, God, if you sent me here, then the Lord's anointed must be here." So he took the correction.
Right. Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He took the correction because God said, "Now, if I sent you there, Samuel, and my word doesn't fall to the ground, then my man has to be there."
Right.
So what did Samuel do? He said, "Now, I know the brother's got to be here. None of y'all sit down until he gets here."
Right.
Because he asked Jesse, "Do you have any more sons?"
Right.
And Jesse, "Well, I got the young one back out there. He just tending them sheep and shoveling up some doo-doo, you know." And Samuel said, "Nobody sits down until the boy comes in here." They had to submit, the brothers. All the older brothers had to submit. That was their first sign of submission to their baby brother, David,
Right.
at that moment. Did they like it? Absolutely not. Why? Because when the oil was supposed to fall on everyone's head, it wouldn't fall on nobody else's head but David's. Now, why do I share that? Because do you think it was peaches and cream after that prophet leaves? And now David, the baby brother, is now in the company of his doubting father and of his brothers that are sitting here saying, "Hold up now, how is little Dave the next king of Israel? Him? The shepherd boy? The dung boy?" That probably put David in instant isolation, to where now he is ostracized by his brothers even the more. He's ostracized by his father, Jesse, even the more.
Right.
Why am I saying this? Because purpose and divine call is usually going to be very lonely.
Right.
And it took a while for David to now have to assemble his crew.
That's good. That's good.
Are you willing to walk alone? Are you willing to walk in meager surroundings?
Right.
In humble surroundings?
Right.
Or do you want to look the part? Do you want to look like king before you become him?
The thing is that if you're going to walk in your purpose, you're never alone. God said, "Beloved, I am with you always." When we begin to walk in our purpose and do these things, our prayer life, our connection with God has to be on another level.
Already.
It can't be, I'll pray every once in a while, oh, things are happening, now let me go pray. No, it has to be, your relationship with him has to be a constant thing in order to get through this, because you're going to feel that. I mean, if the enemy tempted Christ, what do you think?
Why would he not
tempt you? You're by yourself. You're alone. You're trying to do this, and the people that are no longer around you are not there, and he's going to begin to talk and say, "Oh, you by yourself.
Right.
Where your crew at? You let them folks go. You walking in it? I don't see anything happening for you. Oh, really? You just lost your job. Got laid off. Oh, okay, nothing happening for you.
Right.
You're not meeting your goal. Oh, okay, your lights got turned out. You can't feed your family." This is what the enemy will do. He will start planting and sowing doubt and start sowing things in your life that make you say, "God,
Are you sure?
are you sure you called me? Are you sure this is for me?"
Right. And you know, and here's the thing. I think God gives us that grace period
He does.
where we go through that initial doubting stage.
We
like
do.
like Gideon, right?
Absolutely. Like
God
that.
said, "Okay, you're a mighty man in valor," and Gideon was like,
Who, me?
Who you talking about, Willis?
You ain't talking about me.
You ain't talking about me, bruh." And God had a grace period of patience for Gideon,
Yes.
so that his mind could get up to where, no, bruh, you are that dude. You
are that
have
dude.
been called to this stage
Right.
and to that position.
Right.
Right. And so I think God gives us that great, but I think as we mature,
Right.
and if you've been in him and God for a while, good minute,
Yes.
you shouldn't still be struggling with, well, is it me, Lord?
Right.
Are you sure you got the right one?
That means your relationship, your prayer life, and your relationship with him is lacking.
It's too shaky.
Yeah.
And we gotta grow up now. And we
have
gotta
to.
grow up, and we gotta grow up quickly.
Yes.
Because y'all, as a people, we are behind.
Yes.
And so as we close out tonight's episode
Yes.
of Assemble Your Crew, do yourself a favor and take inventory, even if you got to write them down. And it could be close friends. It could be cats you went to high school with, people that you grew up with, people that you go to church with. It could be relatives and family members. It could be old colleagues and business partners. But take an assessment before you start planning out the new year and what's going to happen in 2023. And look at people's behaviors.
Yes.
Look at people's mentalities. Look at people's
Right.
actions.
Right.
Look at what they're not doing
Right.
that they said they were going to do. That's procrastination.
Right.
Okay? Look at all these things. Look at all these traits and attributes that your friends and these people have,
Yeah.
and line them up with, is this taking me where I want to go? Are they in alignment with where I want to go? All four wheels on that car need to be in alignment.
Right.
If one is out, that car is going to steer where the one is out.
That's right.
You want to make sure that everybody is aligned on the same page with where it is that you're wanting to go and where God has called you to go. First, you got to know you've been called.
Right. Right. And find mentors. People
Right.
that we know, like our friend Iffy the Dominator.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Find people who are going to push you, that are in your corner, who are saying, "Hey, you can do it. I'm going to push you." Yeah, they're not going to be easy on you.
Right.
Because even a teacher, I've had teachers that was so hard on me that I was like, this teacher don't like me. It was totally the opposite of that, babe. They did, but they were saying, "I see potential in you that you're not seeing."
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pull that out of you. Get around people and get mentors, people that are going to speak in your life, and people that are going to say when you're wrong, and people who are going to lift you up when you're right, people who are not going to give you any gray area.
And be able to take the correction that the mentor gives you.
Right. Our spiritual father, when we're wrong, Apostle Sean ain't saying, well, it's okay, son and daughter. No.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
No. We've had assignments that we were like, okay, these are tough assignments.
Right.
I remember when we first started.
Right.
And we had some issues in our marriage. And he asked us to talk. I remember one time we left from there. And he asked us to talk. And he said, I want y'all to talk. We talked in that car and we had an argument all the way to the house.
Yeah.
But he was saying, you guys, you can't keep operating like this.
Right.
And I'm not going to have it if you're going to be under me.
Right.
If I'm going to be your spiritual father, if I'm going to help bring out the best in you, even our spiritual mom,
Right.
prophetess, we can't say not one word of doubt. Well, Mom, I don't know. It ain't I don't know. It will happen. You know?
And stop thinking you don't need nobody.
We got to have someone. I'm 55 years old.
Right.
Almost.
Right.
I need somebody to help me in this area.
We were created to need each other.
Yes.
That is what mankind is.
We need each other.
We were created to need each other.
Oh my
So
goodness.
stop with this mentality. I don't need nobody. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need nobody to tell me nothing.
That's
you
pride.
do, and that's pride, and that's probably why you're behind and you're broke.
Right.
And broken.
And we don't want anyone to be
And we don't want
behind and
anybody to be
broken.
behind, broken.
I want us all to
We
get
want to
it.
thrive.
Yes.
And I'll say this as well. You cannot be jealous of people's success.
Please, you guys, because God, He's going to judge all of that.
You cannot
You're not
be
gonna go
jealous and
anywhere. Right.
envious of people's success because you don't know the behind the scenes of what they've put into it to get to what it is that you're seeing where they're at now.
I wish you could scream that from the top of a mountain.
Oh God. Stop being jealous and secretively jealous and envious of people's success. You can't have no mentor
Right.
if you're going to be jealous of one.
Right. But babe,
If-
God gave us there's no reason to be jealous. When He didn't say I gave this to you and then I gave this to her and you can't have it. He said I've given you what you need.
What I saw today from this photography studio for Kawan, it made me proud.
Yeah.
It made me, it pushed me.
Even more.
It pushed me even more. It said, Landa, bro, you better get, and I'm already a person who has a thick work ethic,
Right.
straight up.
Very much so.
If you're gonna be jealous of me, you better outwork me.
So hey,
If
I
you're
can
going
tell
to,
you.
straight up, if you're gonna be jealous of the Morgans, you better outwork us. You better outpray us.
Because we got a purpose to fulfill.
Absolutely.
And
You
we gonna
better
do it.
you better outwork us and you better outpray us.
Yes.
And you better outgive us.
Yes. Oh God.
You better outgive us. If you're gonna be jealous, outgive us, outpray us, and outwork us. And then you have a reason to be jealous if you're still not getting the results better than we are. You have a reason to be. Until then, stop being jealous and envious of people, other
yeah.
people. It's not getting you anywhere, but it's marching you around that same mountain year
Right.
after year. When we saw that photography studio, it didn't make me like, oh, I gotta have something bigger and 2 times better than him, and why he get it before me, and da 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 da. And I've been no.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I said, God, you are blessing your people.
Yes.
You are blessing the hands of
Those
a
who want it.
diligent person.
Right.
Those who want it and go after it.
That's
and they
right.
put their heads down and they did it.
That's right.
I said, God, if you'll do it for them, I know you'll do it for us. And He will.
That's right. That's
So
right.
what is the purpose of being jealous? Our people, believers, church folk, Christians, whatever you want to call yourself, get before anything. Don't even wait till December 31st. If you're going to ask God and believe God for anything, get rid of that mentality. Get rid of the jealousy spirit. Get rid of that envy. And get rid of that mentality where you can't take correction from nobody. If you can't take no correction on this level, then you won't be able to handle what's coming on the next level. Do you think Jay-Z is not getting corrected at that level by somebody?
He has to. If
Do
he
you
wants-
think Oprah Winfrey is not getting corrected by somebody at that level?
Right.
You have to if you want to maintain and sustain what it is that you have.
Yes.
And if you want to grow it and expand it, you got to have somebody sharpening you. Iron sharpens iron.
Right.
And so you guys, start now. You don't need another sermon. Hear me when I say this, please. You
We're
don't
not
need
saying not to go to church.
We're not saying not to go to church, and I'm saying that.
Yes.
Because no, just stop that. Don't even take my words out of context. I'm saying you don't need another pump me up sermon. You don't need to go to another 5, 10 different conferences and prophetic seminars and prophetic prayer breakfasts. You don't need to go ahead and start executing on what it is that you know you should already be doing, that you should have been doing years and months ago.
Right.
Stop that, black folks.
Right.
Stop that, believers.
Yes.
Please, we're wasting time. You don't need another confirmation. You don't need another sermon to pump you up. You don't need another prophetic word from somebody from Facebook.
That's right.
And sending your Cash App and PayPal. No. Go do the thing and execute the thing that's been burning in your heart to do.
Right.
That you scared to do because you think you're going to lose some friends, or you're going to lose some people over here, or some folk going to look at you funny. And
or
they
that you don't know what you're doing.
And yeah, exactly. Or that you don't know all that you're doing or how to do it.
None of us do.
None of us do. Did you think we knew how to start a podcast?
No.
Do you think I knew about lighting and the graphics for a podcast and all this different stuff that you see today? You think I just knew that? No. It took time. It took research. It took the willingness to fail. The willingness to mess up.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter what they say.
The willingness to learn something new that you
Right.
didn't know before.
Absolutely.
And the willingness to get around people and glean from people who do know what it is that I want to know.
Right. That's God.
That's
good.
those you have to find your mentors.
Yes.
And you have to believe in what it is that they're doing and that they can sharpen what it is that you want to do. But you
Right.
can't be jealous of people who are doing better than you.
Right.
Because how are you going to have a mentor? Your mentor is supposed to be doing what? Better than you are. They're supposed to help lead you to where you want to go.
It's just like a coach.
Exactly, a coach.
Yeah.
You can't. How is Kobe Bryant going to be jealous of Phil Jackson, his coach?
Or vice versa.
And vice versa.
Right.
How is Kobe going to be jealous of Michael Jordan?
Right. Right.
They
That's
both
what
sharpen each other.
Right.
So come on, y'all.
Let's go.
Let's finish this year strong.
Yes. Let's go.
Let's finish it strong and real.
Yes.
And stop playing games, and let's stop being overly sensitive about things. Let's put our hand to the plow and let's go
look
forward.
back. Right.
Don't look back.
Right. It's time.
It is time, y'all. I'm tired of seeing us broke.
Right.
I'm tired of seeing us broke. I'm tired of seeing us in. We can't do nothing for our kids. We don't travel. We don't go in. We don't do nothing but church and come to the house and go to work. Are you not tired of that? Y'all better talk to me in these comments, man.
God wants more.
Y'all better talk to me.
God wants more from us, and he wants us to have more. He said, I want you to have life,
Yes.
and life more abundantly. You guys, not to keep regurgitating the same thing. Purpose in your heart to do something different. Go see something different. Arkansas, Louisiana, and all of them places in Vegas. It's still gonna be there.
Right.
I'm serious, guy. I'm not saying this to be ugly. We got family in those areas, but I'm
Right.
saying taking a full vacation, go somewhere, go to another country, research. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We research, we go. Go with people who have that mind, that has that same mindset, who want to go. Getting on a plane, big deal. We've been on a plane where we had 9 hours of turbulence. You guys, turbulence ain't meaning the plane is going down.
Right.
That's not what it is. It's like a bump in the road and with a car.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
Stop allowing yourself to have fear. That's the enemy. God says,
Right.
I didn't give you a spirit of fear. If we would use the word is telling you. He didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind.
That's right.
Stop being afraid. We have the opportunity now. You guys, every day we see someone has passed. We have a graveyard full of people who had hopes and dreams that didn't fulfill it.
And Miles Monroe said something that was very profound. He said the richest place, the wealthiest place in the world
Right,
is the cemetery.
right, right. And it's the truth.
The cemetery is the wealthiest place in the world because people died with goals, with inventions,
Right.
with ideas,
Right.
with talents and gifts that they never brought out
Never brought out.
because they were scared or fearful or what people are going to
Or
think,
around the wrong people.
or around the wrong people that choked the wheat. And you got weeds around you that are choking your wheat.
Right. And I want everyone to be interactive on our, on our Living More for the Morgans page. I was looking at evangelist Shreya saying Dubai, Belize, Tahiti. When you do, post it.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
When you do it, post it. Get your passports. Post it.
Yes.
Go. I want to see you because we're going to be like, go on, girl.
Yes.
Look, she's going to
Go.
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 Don't make an excuse about it. If only one person want to go with you, you take that one
Go
person and you
and
go
bounce.
and you enjoy your
Shoot 'em,
life
produce, and bounce.
And
And then don't be ashamed to post it.
And don't be ashamed
Don't be
because we
ashamed.
post.
Don't be ashamed to show your experience.
Right.
Because someone else is being blessed by the fact that you're blessed. Yeah,
Babe.
you're gonna have some haters. Yeah, you're gonna have folk that's jealous.
Doesn't
And
matter.
she's showing. You don't care about that.
No.
From this day forward, we don't care about that. We don't care what you think about us. We don't care. We are living this life and living more.
Living
We
more.
want you to do the same. So if you're going to Dubai, if you're going to wherever you go,
Right.
you live this thing to the fullest until the wheels fall off.
God want us to. He made a landscape. He created this earth. There's places that you guys, the water is so blue. It's so aqua and blue that
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. He made mountains in places that you never experienced before in your life. Just even going to Egypt, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
We've gone to Egypt, and I thought about the children of Israel coming out from Egypt. You guys, you should see. We talk about mountains here. These rocks are rocks on top of rocks on
Right.
top of rocks,
Right.
and to see it and to be there to touch it was such a blessing.
Right.
God He's smiling, He's laughing, it gives Him joy to see you go and live your life.
All of this, baby, you own it.
Thank you.
Y'all, all of this was created for us.
Yeah.
Not just Oak Cliff,
No.
not just South Dallas, not just Fort Worth,
Gotta see it.
not just Arkansas and Las Vegas, not just New Orleans,
No. Nothing
but
wrong with them.
nothing wrong with those places. But the world
much
was
more.
created for us.
Right.
The world was created for us to experience. Them pyramids are still standing today. Why? For you to go look at them? Them mountains in Switzerland.
So you can see God.
So you can
in
go
that.
see God in the mountains that He created.
Yes, and you. God.
Let's go back. Oh, God, I know we're a little bit long, but we're
Yeah.
gonna rock with it tonight. Think about in the book of Genesis, God puts man in the Garden of Eden. Okay?
Yeah.
He creates Eden or the world before He creates the man.
Yes, He does.
And He puts everything in the earth before He creates the man.
Right.
So that means there's vegetation, there's mountains, there's greenery, there's flowers, there's
Oceans.
gold,
Yes.
there's oceans, there's water, there's
That's right.
all of that is created before man gets there.
That's right.
So if God wasn't living on the earth physically, then why create all of this? For Him to just look at it? No. God created it so that we could enjoy it.
Yes.
Every night, God paints a sunset somewhere.
Every night.
Does He do it for Him? No, He's doing it in hopes that His people would see His majesty and say, God, you showed out tonight.
Yes.
Every morning when you wake up and you see that sunset come up over the horizon, He's hoping that His people would say, Lord, you a bad boy. You showed out this morning. Them mountains were created for you. Those lakes and valleys in Bangkok, Thailand.
Right. Beautiful place, you guys.
Those animals in Africa roaming the plains and the Sahara. That's created for you. Why are you stuck where you always been? Why are you not willing to break away from that and say, you know what, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how long it takes me to get there. I don't even care how much it costs. Why? You're my provider. Handle it. God, I want to see what it is that you created. Handle the finances.
He will.
Do you can you dare to do that? Can you dare to say that and
Dare
be bold
to
and
say
do
it.
that?
Yes.
Lord, if you want me to see Dubai, if you want me to see Belize, if you want me to see Bangkok, help me with my finances so that I can go enjoy your splendor. Not so, oh, well, I hope they give me 3 days off at my job. 3 days? No.
We can't, honestly,
I
we can't do nothing
As soon
with
as I
3
check
days.
in the hotel, that's 2 days gone right there. What am I doing 3 days?
No. We
Go live more.
Right. And when you begin to travel, you know what traveling does? When you get outside of the 5-mile radius of where you are, your neighborhood and the other side of town, when you begin to get outside of that and you see how other people live and you begin to see all of this, all the things that they're doing and how they live and begin to do new things, go skiing and you know, go to Switzerland, go skiing, go to, you know, go to Japan and all these other places, it broadens your mind.
And it opens you up to, okay. People are often prejudiced of things that they don't understand
or experience.
or haven't experienced.
Yes.
Right? So we experience prejudice and bigotry in the world because we haven't experienced or opened our minds to what else is out there.
What else?
All we've seen. If
Right.
you've grown up in the South and all you've seen is the South, then you tend to think everything is like this.
Yeah.
Everybody is the way I am.
Right.
Everybody wants what I have.
Yes.
But you'll be surprised that when you get out and you start seeing the rest of the world. Y'all, I've been to Hawaii 8 times. My wife has been 6.
Yeah.
8.
Second home, we were married there.
Yes, 8 times. Why? Because it's so beautiful there. And it's in our backyard. It's here in America.
Yes.
And if I ask people,
8 hours.
8-hour flight. That's it. That's 2 movies, 2 or 3 movies on a flight, and you're there. And if I ask people, have you been to Hawaii that's in your own backyard that you can get there round trip for about $500-$600? People would tell me, well, no, I ain't never been to Hawaii. Why you ain't been to Hawaii? Why? You're going to work, pay bills, go to church, and do this and continue this cycle, but you're talking about, 2023 is about God and me? Really? It needs to be about God and you now.
Yes.
It needs to be about you living more and living life to the extent
Right.
of fulfillment now.
Yes.
Not waiting till the clock strikes.
Midnight.
God is already in 2023. In fact, he's in 2063.
Yes.
God is already there.
Right.
Our time needs to catch up with him.
Right.
So we're thinking God's going to do something brand new in 2023. God had already done it.
Right.
He's waiting for you to get there.
Right.
It's not something that he's going to do.
Right.
It's something that he's already done that he's waiting for us to catch up to get to it.
Right. Babe, could this be a second episode?
It's going to have to be, baby. Because we're going almost 2 hours.
And I was just thinking about this because we're getting so much interaction.
Yes.
And, you know, again, what we wanted to do tonight, again, was to challenge all of us to get around the right people, to get around those that are sharpening us, those that are for us, those that are cheering us on, those that will correct us when we're wrong with a heart of love, to help push us into our destinies so that we won't fear anymore, so that we can live the life that he wants us to live. This is what we want to do tonight. This is what we're talking about tonight. And yes, we're passionate about it because we don't want the people that we see that are around us, we want you to have a wonderful life. We want you to be blessed. When we talk about abundance, like our bishop would say, abundance. Talk about abundance. When I tell you we want to see that for you all, And those that are watching, stop hanging around people who tell you that this can't happen because you're here, or you're this age, or you don't have what it takes. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you don't have what it takes, and especially yourself.
Yes.
If you keep talking and saying that about yourself, that you cannot, you don't have it, I don't know. If you do not say what God has already said about you, that you're a mighty man of valor, man, a woman, man, it doesn't
It's
matter.
interchangeable,
Yeah,
yes.
it's interchangeable. You're well able until you start saying it and walking in it, you'll keep, it will continue to be the same thing over and over. You won't have it.
The book says, as a man thinks in his heart,
As he thinks, so is he.
not so he will be.
Right, so he is.
He's that. He's that thing that
Right.
he thinks he is
That's right,
at that moment. Not what he will be, but he's that thing.
that's right.
So if you think of yourself as a failure, which in my past I did, if you think of yourself as not good enough, in my past I did.
Right,
If you think of yourself as someone who missed their time, or I'm too old now, and I did, if you continue to think like that, faith comes by hearing. So hopefully you're getting the faith by hearing what it is that we are saying to you tonight,
right,
so that you will go forward and you will take the limitations off of yourself.
yes.
But what is it going to take? I'll answer that and we'll wrap this up. Fam, it's going to take you taking an inventory of people in your life. If you are trying to go forward and you are still around people who don't want you to go forward, and you subject yourself to staying around people who don't want you to go forward, you will be where you are today this time next year. And you'll look up and 5 years will go by, 10 years will go by, and you'll still be in the same place, and you'll be sitting here saying, what happened? Where did the time go? I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. There are people that we've had to distance ourselves from, and it hurt. It hurts. It is not easy. It's not something that we are, oh yeah, we did. No, we don't gloat about it. No, because it's difficult to do. But we had to do it because of what we've been called to. And I would tell you the same thing. I would admonish you that between now and the new year, take the time to make an inventory of your life. I would also tell you this. Anywhere that you've ever wanted to go, any dream that you've ever had, just dare to do it. Dare to do it. If you wanted to travel to Africa and take a safari, just dare to go outside of your comfort zone and your limitations this coming year. Just dare, just do it. Just dare to do it. And you watch what'll happen to you and to your life. Just dare to distance and cut yourself off from people who are not fueling that race car that you are. You're not there to be pretty and stay stagnant and parked. You were created to be driven. Go drive. Go drive to distant places. Go drive to new levels that are beyond you, that are beyond your wildest dreams and expectations, and you watch what'll happen. See, I don't know of any other podcasters telling you this. But Living More with the Morgans, this is what our vision was for you. Our vision was to bring a podcast of positivity, where people can be genuine on here, where you can see that we're flawed, that we're going through stuff just like you. We ain't got it all together. We're not out here writing self-help books, a perfect marriage in 5 years. No. We ain't got it all figured out. I'm stumbling in this thing just like you. She's stumbling in things just like you. But if we do it together, we can truly and really start living more. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in tonight.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Again, my name is Landa Jeray Morgan, and this is my beautiful wife, Rotunda Morgan.
Rotunda Morgan.
And you've tuned in to Living More with the Morgans. If you would, please tell others about the podcast. Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. If you would, head on over there. Facebook, facebook.com/Living More Morgans. Head over to Instagram, instagram.com/Living More Morgans. If you're on Twitter, Live More Morgans. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Hit that bell icon for notifications on when we're going to come on live. You can also see uploaded content and shorts that we'll be putting on our YouTube channel as well. But until next week, Tuesday night, y'all be safe.
Be safe.
And we love you guys.
We love you all. Have a wonderful rest of the week.